Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibbitz. It's Mary, and don't be confused. It's actually Sunday, not Saturday. I had to do my Saturday night shenanigans on Sunday this week, guys, because last night was my niece's communion. So blame my little niece Christina for me being a day late. But I'm making it up with a fantastic co-host. Welcome, Mr. Montana Millz himself. Mike is here
Kiki, what's
tonight.
up?
Hey,
What's
Mike.
up, man? What's up? What's up?
So, how are you?
I'm doing great, actually. I mean, life is finally panning out. Everything's going good, and I just gotta thank God for all the blessings we've been receiving lately.
You want to tell the peoples what you were doing today?
I mean, yeah, we were looking for homes, and we actually are probably about to close on one right now, so we're elated
Oh,
about that. And yeah, it's just
exciting.
it's very
Exciting.
exciting because we got the baby coming. The baby's gonna be coming home to a new apartment. You know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna be a situation where we're still renting and somewhere in PA. Like, we're actually gonna own our own home, and the baby's gonna have her own shit. So it's nice.
Fantastic. Very exciting. Even though we missed you guys because you weren't on the episode this week, which kind of sucks, but
Yeah,
I have you here for the recap. And I can't believe the season is almost over. Next week is the season finale.
yeah, it
Holy
is. It
shit.
is.
That flew by really quickly.
Time flies, man, and it's been
Time
an, it's been a
time
great
flies when you're
experience.
having fun and when there's drama,
Yeah.
right?
And when it's drama, yeah, I mean, it's been a good experience. The whole filming, the whole running around with the camera guys and the assistants and the producers. It's just an experience that we get to look back on and say, hey, we documented this portion of our lives and shared it with the world.
Right.
So
So
that was pretty cool.
since you weren't on this week, let's talk about your storyline and your filming experience, especially with you coming out of jail and everything. How has it been for you this season?
It's been cool. I've not to say like I was a big shot before or anything, but I was already used to kind of performing and shooting music videos and being in front of cameras and stuff. So this wasn't really new to me. It was new to my kids. It was new
Right.
to my family. It was new to my wife, and her kids. So it was kind of learning how to do that with them. You know what I mean? Because me, you could say, all right, action or roll, and I'm gonna get right into whatever I got to, whatever character, whatever mode, whatever it is that we got to do, we're gonna get it done.
Right.
But like with them, it's kind of like, oh my God, I don't want to look stupid if I say this. And it's hard because a lot of people think everything is scripted. It's not. You know what I mean? So there's times where we're really talking to each other how we're talking to each other. And we don't want the world to look at it and be like, oh, why is he talking to her like that if he's such a good guy? Well, hello, every couple argue, every couple have disagreements. So if you want reality from us, we're gonna give you reality. I'm not gonna sit there and act like I don't curse at Juju and she don't curse at me because we do that. You know what I mean? So that's the only part that we try to kind of like be on the same page about. It's like, just keep it authentic. Don't act a certain way because the camera's rolling. Because then that's
Exactly.
not you. You know what I mean? And then the world starts to look at you and say, oh, well, she's this. Like everyone, oh, she's mean to her mom and this and that. They don't understand the story between her and her mother. You know what I mean? Her mother's gonna paint the picture as something else, and they don't understand what Juju has been through. They don't understand the hardship that she's endured. So it's like it's easy to opinionate when you don't have the full story. You know what I mean?
So speaking of Juju, thank you so much for the super chat. And speaking of moms, that was very, your reaction to your mom was very authentic
Yeah,
when you told her about her pregnancy. Like, you were like, what the fuck? Okay. And your sister's reaction when you told her about Justine's pregnancy was very authentic. Like,
yeah,
speaking about authentic reactions, like your storyline, I would say the reactions were very authentic. Like your sister, she just broke down into tears, and that wasn't like fake. Like you could tell that
listen,
was real.
we're not actors. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So we
Right.
can't cry on command. We can't, we can't harness this Grammy Award, Emmy Award winning performance, and we can't do those things. You know what I mean? So it's like when you see what's going on, it's really going on. That people say the barbecue stuff when I came home. No, that shit was real. Like it went left out of nowhere, and I honestly feel like everyone's emotion was just heightened. They haven't seen me in so many years. Everyone was just all over the place, and then Justine had to adjust to the fact that it wasn't really her anymore, because while I was locked up, it was just me and her on the
Right.
phone, on the visit.
Right.
So now she got to share me with my mom and my sister, my kids, and it was overwhelming. Because when we left that night, she's like, "Damn, babe, I felt like we didn't even spend no time." And I explained to her, I said, "Babe, how can I spend time with you? Look, I'm leaving with you right now, right? I haven't seen these people in all these years. I can't just shift my focus all to you. I'm trying to accommodate every single person I haven't seen in all these years." So everyone's emotions were heightened. So it wasn't like it was fake or nothing. Like, no, they were really about to throw down,
Right.
So
And
and
then
and
talking about accommodating, then you were trying to accommodate your career. You have your family and then your career.
yeah,
And then
like when Mocha flying in, people no, we didn't know. Mocha flew in. I had no idea. You know what I'm saying? What I was told was that I was gonna be surprised. Because when whatever's going on, they'll tell you, oh, just wait for it. That's all they're
right,
gonna give you. They're not telling you this is what's going on, this is how you're supposed to react. They're not saying that. So at the end of the day, when that shit happened, it's like, oh my God, my man is here. I ain't seen him in so many years. Then I get Juju was talking to him and they set the whole thing up, and it's kind of like, oh shit, it's mind-boggling. So now it's like, you know what I mean? Now I know he's in town. Now it's like, yo, man, I gotta see him. Now it's the thing, he's flying in. Like, you know what I mean? I gotta
right,
see him.
right.
So now I'm trying to once again accommodate family, accommodate my wife, and I'm trying to blend families and also talk to Mocha about furthering my career and doing things.
Right, right. But now we have Mocha trying to push the boundary a bit with the career and your marriage. So, now you find yourself stuck in the middle. And that's where we are right now, where we last see you guys. You're kind of stuck in the middle because Mocha's like, dude, you have to take the ring off. Justine's like, I don't think so. And this is where we are right now. So, you're kind of, still once again trying to accommodate. You find
Everyone
yourself, everyone trying to
being
accommodate.
spreading myself thin because
Right.
I don't want to hurt. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, or I don't want to make anyone feel less valuable, because all these people in my life, they are valuable to me. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So I don't
Right.
want to make someone feel less valuable just because I'm agreeing with someone else. Or a lot of people won't understand that. If Mocha had more reasoning behind why he wanted me to do that, then I'd probably be siding with him. Like, okay, well, damn, this makes sense. But it doesn't make sense. You see what I'm saying? To me,
Right.
it doesn't make sense.
Right.
So I'm not going to embarrass my wife or myself or anyone and take off my ring to do what? For that, I'd rather not make it. I'll tell you right now. I'd
Right.
rather never go nowhere than where I'm at right now, than sit there and put a woman who's been there for me for all these years through something that embarrassing, you know?
Exactly.
Making myself look like I'm accessible and available to every other female when that's not the case.
Now, Mike, how did you think you were going to be able to take out such a large sum of money and not have Justine notice? And then try to convince her that you were just investing it in Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Come on,
Well,
dude.
listen,
Bitcoin.
I'm gonna but okay, can I explain myself?
Join.
The reason why
Joan,
the
thank you
reason
so
why
much for the super chat. Bitcoin. Come on, at least super chats, but not Bitcoin.
okay, listen, right? The whole NFT situation came about me just spitting some shit that I knew Juju did not know about.
I knew it. I was like,
See what I'm
he's just
saying?
spitting shit out of his ass.
If I sit there and tell her about this, she's been learning about real estate. She's actually gonna take a real estate course, so she's been learning about these. I can't start breaking real estate down to her because she's gonna be like, well, damn, babe, if you invested, then this, and then now I'm stuck in a bigger lie. Now I say NFTs and Bitcoins and shit. She's like, well, I don't know anything about that. Just figure out what's going on. And a lot of people had the misconception because I seen a lot of comments like, oh, he's using her money and this and that, not understanding that. Listen, man, I play a big role in where this money comes from. You know what I'm saying? So No, me and my wife decided to share an account because we had plans like what we're doing now, buying property, doing this, opening up our businesses. So we had to make these joint accounts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the only reason why I didn't want to tell her was because then she would have been suspicious to the fact that I'm taking that large, well, not that large, but that sum of money out to
It's a
where
large sum of money to me, but
it's
yeah.
it's it's unaccounted for though. It's like,
Right, right.
you know what I mean? Why would any person, they could be rich, they could be poor. Anyone who's taking out $12,000 out of an account, that's, you know what I mean? That's significant. Someone's
Mike,
gonna be like,
I
what are
notice if
you
my
doing?
husband takes $100 out of my account, out of our account, but yeah.
You know, so
Yeah,
it was never like, people like, oh, he's a liar, and no, it was
right.
never to lie.
It's just
I
a
wanted to
point
do
that
something for her.
some money was missing. You wanted to do a nice surprise and you couldn't get away with it because Justine is on point. Juju is
Yeah,
on
and I
point,
had 2
and she said,
weeks.
"Hey, where the fuck is this money?" And you
You
just
see,
try
my
to
buddy,
spit some shit out of your ass.
yeah, I did. You know what I mean? Because I knew that because what happened was I was downstairs dealing with the boys, and she called me upstairs, and I already know her face. So I go upstairs, and then she asked me about it, and I'm like, holy shit, she had got a notification. So she had got, what she got was the bank statement.
The
You see,
notification
I
got
wasn't.
you.
Yeah. So how it happened was, she in the middle of them asking her questions or something, she
Mhm.
got the bank statement. So she's looking on her phone, and she opens the email, and she realized that it was missing. And that's when the whole question came. That's why I reacted the way I reacted with her. And I was like, yo, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you don't complain when the money comes in, but you complaining if I take the money out. The money's gonna come back. But what had happened was, a person I was waiting to come back from Dominican Republic didn't make his flight in time. So I wasn't able to recoup some money that I gave him. So now I'm waiting. I'm saying I'm gonna be able to take the money out, buy her the ring, and then replace the money with the money I'm getting. You know what I mean? She'll never know what's missing, because when she would have got the statement, she would have seen the negative, but then it would have been a positive, and it would have just evened out.
Right,
And then I would have been able to say, oh, that's probably the bank. They made a mistake or something, because look, they put it right back.
right.
But that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So he ended up coming a week later, and I was like, damn, bro, like, you fucked my whole shit up. But the whole point is, I'm still glad I did it, because, in the long run, she's all smiles now,
Exactly. She's happy now.
you
And
know,
that's all that matters, is making your woman happy, right? Making your woman
definitely.
happy, taking care of your family, and taking care of business, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Capricorn 11, for the super chat. Okay, let's talk about the couples that were on the episode this
Okay.
week. Now, I say we start off with Taylor and Chance, because that was an insane scene. They have had drama this season, okay, between, first of all, Taylor having her baby, which is
Yeah.
already like intense. Okay, you're about to have a baby, and you have, between you and Justine, a sports team full of children. Okay, so children, having children, so she just had a baby, and Chance hasn't exactly been there for her, as you've seen, right? He's not very emotionally supportive, and he just
Yeah.
lost his job, and he won't tell her he lost his job. Now, Mike, personally, if you were to lose your job tomorrow, wouldn't Justine be the first person you tell?
Of course. Yo, people gotta understand that. Yo, when you with a
Thank
person,
you.
that person becomes your counterpart. That person becomes the only person that's supposed to know what you got going on for real. You feel me? That's the only person. Like, my mother, my father, my brothers, my sisters, they not supposed to know shit before my wife. You
Thank
know what I'm
you.
saying? They not supposed to know. So if God forbid something like that happened to me, the first person I'm coming to is my wife. Babe, look, man, I'm in a situation. I lost my job, or I'm no longer working there. Whatever the situation is, I'm gonna sit her down first, because I mean, she becomes like, your wife becomes codependent on you, and she's probably assuming, oh, we're gonna be good for X amount of months, and you're in the shitter.
And she just had
So
a
now
baby. She just had a
my
baby.
point.
And on top, he's making all sorts of bad life decisions already. He's gambling. He's gambling. He's drinking, obviously, now, from what we see in this episode, because he was trying to drink 4 double shots like they were water. It's like, Chance, slow the fuck down. Okay, so he's gambling. He got laid off from his job. He just had a baby. He doesn't tell his wife. So now she is tracking him during the day because and he's texting other women that are his friends, right? But he's like, oh, I won't tell you about it because you'll get mad at me. You'll tell you'll tell me you don't want me to talk to them. But you're just bringing all this shit onto yourself. Like, wouldn't Justine get pissed the fuck off if she found out that you were talking to an old friend?
Okay,
even
look,
if it's just platonic, if it's just platonic, right, Mike?
I'm not even gonna say Justine. I would be pissed off if she was talking to somebody.
Right.
So I'm gonna explain why I'm saying that.
Right.
See, I'm not gonna do anything to my wife I don't want done to me.
There you go.
So if I don't want my wife talking to all these other dudes that were just her friends, or whether she just went out with the guy one time, or they had casual sex here and there, whatever the situation is, I don't want that. Because that, you know what I mean? That's just a recipe for disaster. Why is that person around? It's called the past when you pass them. They're behind. They're not supposed to be lingering around your presence. They're not going to influence your future. They wouldn't be behind you. So at the end of the day, it's like, I always think of how would she take it? You know what I'm saying? If I did this, how would she feel? If she did that, how would I feel?
Right.
So that's what I think about before I do anything. And it's not that hard. You know, it's really not that hard. You got a person that you're calling your girl or your wife or whatever, and you want to show her the utmost respect and you want to make her number one, but you constantly bringing up other people that y'all don't even know the same people or nothing. It's uncomfortable. So my only advice to him is like, yo, especially if you don't have anything to hide, just be real with her and understand her point of view.
That's my whole point. Like,
bro,
if you have nothing to hide.
You'd be pissed off if the tables would turn and he went in her phone, he'd be mad. He could say whatever he want because he's not the one going through it. But if it really was happening, you see a different chance.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. So this episode, Taylor and her sister Bobby track Chance to the bar where he's meeting with his friend Tanya. Now, this chick is truly his friend. I believe this chick has no romantic interest in Chance whatsoever. Okay. So Taylor walks into the bar and she immediately starts crying. And I see a lot of people make fun of her for doing that. Now, I'm going to say this in Taylor's defense. She just had a baby and she's postpartum. That's all I have to say. You know? That's all I have to say.
Once again, people speculating, people watching, they're not going through it. They're not walking into the bar seeing their significant other with another person.
Right. So she just saw Chance sitting at a table with a woman. Okay. And then Chance, he was so like condescending. He was like, oh, what's wrong? And she just burst into tears. She's postpartum. I bet you she wanted to punch him in the face, but she's postpartum and she started crying. Point.
And it's embarrassing.
Right.
It's it really all falls down to like, yo, if I walked in and saw Juju sitting at a bar talking to somebody, I'm embarrassed. That's the first feeling before anger, before sadness. I'm embarrassed that's my wife deceiving me like that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then all those other emotions come, which make a person act out of character because you're not like that. You know what I mean? But once again, if that's his friend, then there should be no reason why he shouldn't be able to sit down with his wife and be like, yo, look, this is what it is. I need you and her to just be cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Introduce her.
Let's go out and have a drink with my friend Tanya. Let's go out tonight and have
why is she not with him?
Right. Yeah. Thank you. Exactly. So Taylor's sister Bobby looks like that she wants to knock Chance out, but she's not doing it because security's there. So Taylor runs out and Bobby runs after her. And the friend actually points out the Chance. You see, you started yelling at her immediately, dude. You're not helping the situation. That's why I see that the friend is just a friend. Because she pointed out the Chance, listen, you're being a douchebag right now. You're not helping the situation. You know what I mean?
Because she's also being passed judgment on. Like, right. Your wife sees me automatically, I'm a slut, I'm a this, I'm a homewrecker. She's not thinking that I'm a good friend to you. So at the end of the day, it's like, bro, you're making me look bad by acting this way.
Exactly. So Chance is like flipping the fuck out. He is flipping the fuck out. And it's all because he's busted and he only gives a shit about him. Now, Taylor sees it that he cares more about Tanya, the friend, that he cares about her. And I just keep saying to myself, no, Taylor, he cares more about himself than anybody else, than you, than Tanya, and he cares about himself. He's out there flipping out, screaming, I'm going to call the cops if you don't cease and desist. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Cease and desist. I'm going to call the cops. It was a hot mess. It was a hot fucking mess. And he's just being obnoxious because he's busted and he didn't know what to do because he knew he was wrong. But he is just so, I can't even think of the word I'm trying to think of, but he knew he was busted. And no, it was like, no, Taylor, it's not that he cared more about Tanya. He just cares about himself.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get that a lot with people, especially nowadays, because people are just self-centered. Everything revolves around them. So before they take anyone else's feelings into consideration, they're going to make sure that they feel good. So they start to justify their actions.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Well, I acted this way because you did this, but bro, you in the wrong. So if you're in the wrong and you're trying to justify why you're in the wrong, then you're not taking accountability, which means that you're not taking my feelings into consideration.
Yes.
You know?
So leave it up to Bobby. Chance would just go away and she'll just move right back in and take care of, Taylor, because Bobby never liked him to begin with. We all saw that from last season when Chance was trying to put Bobby in the garage.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I had them on a couple of weeks ago and I was practically screaming at him because he is just, I don't know. He has narcissistic traits at times. He is just he could be insufferable.
You know why it's hard for me, and I mean me and Justine speak about this all the time. Like, it's hard for me to comment on other people's relationship or even give an opinion because I don't know everything.
Exactly.
I don't know what he goes through on the daily. I don't know if he needs mental help. I don't know.
We don't go to bed with them, right, Mike? We don't go to bed and we don't wake up with them, so we don't know.
So even when I see what I see, because this has been done to me, even when I see what I see, I'm like, well, damn, I don't know what's really going on completely. So I can't really say anything, or I can't really sit here and be like, you know what, bro, you're this and you're that, because.
But from what we see, it's not good, right? From what we can see, and from my recap, if you have a chance, even if you just watch a half an hour of the recap that I did a couple of weeks ago, it's like, Chance, it's like, dude, come on. He is just over the top. He is just insufferable at times. It's the way that
you gotta, you see, like, that's what I'm saying. You gotta kind of like maybe his girl or his wife would be able to better explain why he acts out or why he is the way he is, because she's the one dealing with him 24/7. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And she gets him on camera and off camera. So, she gets the real deal. She don't get bits and pieces like we get bits and pieces on a Friday night.
Right.
See it that her bits and pieces are every single day.
24/7. 24/7.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. She goes to bed and wakes up with him every day.
So like, okay, for example, right? If me and Justine are good, let's say the money thing came up last week and she was upset about that, right?
Right.
The whole week we've been fine. If production comes and says, well, we want to touch on what happened last week, that might start an issue. That might reopen those wounds that we just closed up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now we're talking about something to kind of get a better understanding of why it happened the way it happened. But now a person gets aggravated about it because they were aggravated about it in the first place. So you know what I mean? It's hard to, when you're with on a show, you literally have everyone involved. You're dealing with
Right.
scrutiny, you're dealing with other people's opinions, comments, you know. So it's like, how do we find us if we're so busy looking at what everyone else has to say about us? You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So it's hard. It's hard, man. So like sometimes he might act out and then realize there's a camera filming me. Like this is gonna get out there. And then 90% of us, we do what we do, and then we sit down and say, damn, I should have never did that. Or I should have
Right.
never said that. But that's not because you're not thinking with an emotion, you're thinking with your brain. So now that you're thinking and you're really focusing on what you've done, you start to realize that you acted out of character because it was influenced by an emotion. So it takes a lot to kind of like keep your composure and understand that this is not me. Why am I going to get mad for it? It takes a lot to get me angry. So,
Yeah. Very true. Very, very true. Okay. I think we should move on. Actually, there was another couple that wasn't on this week that I think we should talk about.
okay.
Lindsay and Blaine,
Okay.
because that's another couple that acts on emotion a lot, mainly on Lindsay's part, because Lindsay has a lot of emotion. Okay. So Blaine decided that he was going to take a plea deal and get an ankle bracelet. Okay.
Okay.
And Lindsay isn't happy about it. Now, would you look at Justine like she had 10 heads if she wasn't happy that you weren't going to jail?
Yeah, I start to think that there's like a hidden motive now because like
No, because actually, if Justine was on parole herself, see, you have to look at it this way. Lindsay is a
okay.
parolee, okay?
Yep.
And she's worried how this is going to affect her parole. So let's
Yeah.
put a little twist.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so you have to remember that.
Yeah, so yeah, you take that into account and you understand that, well, parole is letting it rock because if they had an issue with it, they would have said something beforehand. So now, you know what I mean? It's like you're thinking where they're not looking. You might bring light to something that they're not even noticing. Like, well, she's right. We can't do that because you're so busy throwing it out there. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't
Don't
broke,
open up a can of
it.
worms, Lindsay.
Leave it alone. Just leave it alone. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a little, a little crazy, but I mean, yeah, I would look at him and be like, damn, babe, you don't want me home. Like,
right?
I don't get it. But now look, if I knew that, listen, but if I knew that my ankle bracelet would affect her, we're gonna figure it out. Yo, well, you know what? I'm gonna have to stay at so-and-so's house. But you know what? I'll sneak over here if I have to in the nighttime, babe, because they're not gonna come see me after 11 or whatever the situation is. We make it work. So it's not to be sitting there being like, oh, you ruining my life or anything. Like, it's not the case.
So Lindsay has been clean for 14 months. Now she has a job with a regular schedule, but it's the dirt shift. She's working from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Her daughter is 13. You have a 13-year-old, so we all know how teenagers can be when they're that age, okay? And her daughter is being a typical 13-year-old. She's exhausted. Blaine is not helping her pack to move, and she basically has a meltdown. And she takes off. And that's where we leave. Like, she takes off. She can't take it anymore. She can't take life. Do you feel have you ever experienced a moment like that since you've been out, that you just are like in meltdown mode and you're just like, I can't take this?
Yeah, I have, and it's because it's like, so you start to take on problems that are not even your problem. Like when you was in jail, you weren't dealing with this or that or this or that. Now you come home and everyone has an issue, or someone needs help over here, or something's going on over there, and you start to put your attention in places where they don't belong. So you work yourself up. You get overwhelmed because you're so concerned about everyone else. If you sit down and you look at what you got to do and you focus, none of that affects you. None of that affects you. Every problem has a solution. There's no problem that don't have a solution. Every problem has a solution. So if we're here at a problem, it's to figure out a solution. So we're not going to focus on this problem. We're going to focus, how do we get rid of the problem? So people spend a lot of time focusing on the problem. Oh, I can't do this because of this, and I can't do this because of that. Well, then what can you do? You see what I'm saying? Forget about what you can't do. You know you can't do that. What can you do? So that's really where it all falls down to. Like, we put ourselves through that.
Mhm. Yeah, that does happen a lot when you just take on everybody else's problems and you
Yes.
don't focus on yourself. You know,
And as a
and
couple,
Lindsay, and Lindsay at this point, is like she can't deal. I think that particular scene, she was just exhausted. I think she was just overtired, and I think she just needed a good sleep. But I think you're right. Sometimes we in general just take on everybody else's problems, and that's when life can become overwhelming.
especially for somebody who's out of prison, I don't care if it's a year or 2 years,
Yes.
when you've been confined for a significant amount of time, it does something to you psychologically. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you
it
need that
does.
time to heal yourself. You need that time to feel normal again. Just to feel
Yes.
normal again, you know?
Yes. Definitely. Definitely. I totally agree. Okay. I think I want to move on to Sean and Sarah because that was a really, really touching scene. Abby got told that Anthony was her daddy.
Yeah,
And
I
this
know.
was leading up all season. Okay. And the one thing that I just want to kind of get across is people don't exactly break the news like this for the first time with a WeTV camera in their living room. Okay. I
Yeah.
seen a lot of people making comments, and it's like, okay, first of all, like, do you exactly tell your child that, this is your father for the first time with a camera
On
in their
TV.
face? Like,
Yeah,
hello.
like,
Okay, so I just want to say that. So, and secondly, I want that donut that Abby was eating. It looked really fucking good. Okay. So Anthony breaks the news, and Abby, like, she starts laughing and crying at the same time, which is usually my reaction when, like, somebody tells me something and I don't know how to react. And if there's a camera in your face and you're a little 8-year-old girl and you don't know how to react, then you just that would be, my
it's like
reaction
it's like
too if I was an 8-year-old girl. Okay.
it's like you start glitching.
Right?
You
Exactly.
don't know,
Exactly.
you don't know what emotion to process.
There we go. She started glitching. I like that, Mike. She started glitching. Yes. Okay. Then she sat on his lap. He promised her that he was always going to be there for her. And he apologized that, he wasn't there. And he's always going to be there for her. And then she slapped him. I like that. She slapped him. And then she said, "Can I eat my donut now?" And it was perfect scene.
It's like, okay, we're even.
Right.
Now we're
Exactly.
even.
Right. We're even. That's it. Okay. I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna eat my donut, and it's over. So now Sarah's main concern is that her baby daddy and her husband stay cordial. They
Yeah.
don't have to be best friends. Stay cordial. And you and Juju have a lot, you guys could understand that, okay? Because there's
Of
a lot of
course.
baby daddy and baby mama, over there.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
you
It's
guys
it's
could
easier
relate
than
to
it
that,
looks, man.
right?
It's easier than it looks. It's you set boundaries and you respect each other's boundaries. That's it. It's all about respect. Respect.
Exactly.
Everyone understands everyone's position. That's it. That's my wife. You're my kid's mom. That's the positions that we all play. That's it. I'm your baby daddy. You know what I mean? That's your man. It's just positions, and it's like a baseball team or basketball. Everyone knows what they're doing on the field. Everyone knows what they're doing on the court. You know what I mean? That's
I
it. And
like that
and we can
reference. There we
we
go.
can we can make it work because it is, at the end of the day, like me and Justine said, we got kids involved. So we have to be adults. We can't act like kids. There's children involved. So, I cannot show up to my son's birthday because you have a situation with one of my kids' mothers. So Juju takes the high road. She just, everyone's cool. Everyone's cool. Justine don't have no problem with nobody. Justine don't agitate nobody. Justine is so respectful and so understanding and just always willing to be the one to sacrifice, yo. And it's crazy because not a lot of people are like that. A lot of people be like, I don't care if that's your kid's mother, I don't
Yeah,
like her.
they are. They are. They're
You
willing,
know what
so
I mean?
willing to
So
cause
I'm
drama.
so
Yes.
glad that I'm not dealing with a person like that because it makes it so much easier for me to pick up my kid with her in the car. It makes it so
Right.
much easier for me to just, be 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 comfortable enough to pick up the phone with one of my kids' mother's call and not have
Right.
to be like, I can't talk right now because my wife is in the car. Nah,
Right.
it ain't like
Yeah.
that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Just makes life so much easier. And then Sarah's other major concern with her baby daddy is his ass better stay clean. Because if his ass ain't clean, he ain't coming nowhere near Abby.
Yeah, but you see that's where people like that's the fine line between when a person's, dealing with substance abuse and, hasn't been in a kid's life for X amount of time. And it's like, well, I mean, what happens if he starts using in a couple weeks? You're gonna
I
strip him
know.
away.
Yeah,
Then what happens to the kid?
I know.
So
That's the
it's
fine
tough.
line. But then you can't let
It's
the kid
tough.
around him if he's using either, because then it's not safe, it's not healthy. You don't
Exactly.
want to see it.
But
You
the
don't want to,
child, the thing is, like I always tell Juju, the child will never understand. The child would
right?
just be like, why is my dad or why is my
I
mom not here?
know. I
That's all
know.
I want to know.
And that's the
The kid
fucked up
won't
thing
understand
about
anything.
drugs. That's the fucked up thing about drugs is the collateral
Yeah,
damage of drugs.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because the kid will never understand.
No,
The kid will never
kid
until
just
the kid gets older. The kid at that moment does not understand what's going on, and that kid is the collateral damage
yes.
at the moment, and it's fucked up. It's fucked up. Okay, Cam and Amaris are having a baby, but dad doesn't know yet. Okay, and dad already has a bad taste in his mouth from Cam marrying his daughter without telling him. Okay, so now dad is coming to meet Cam, and dad and Eris are the spitting image of each other. Now you know how
Yeah.
Cam comes up with the one-liners, right? So dad walks in the door, and Cam goes, "Damn, these people have the same." What did he say? These people have the same exact face.
Yeah.
He cracks me up. So her father is like, okay, now, like back in the 80s, like the OG black guys that used to wear the dress shirt and the jersey with the hat, he's fucking cracking me. I'm like, look at you. OG, he looks like he will bury you in the backyard, Cam. Do not fuck with his little girl. Okay. So he has this
Uh,
conversation with Cam, and he's like, listen, you haven't won me over yet. You got to slow down. Don't have no babies just yet. And Cam is looking at him like, it's too late for that, sir. But he didn't say anything. So he goes out with Lena and Amaris for ice cream. So I'm like, what is going on here? Everybody's having donuts and ice cream. And you know me, Mike, I was smoking. So at this point, I was having the munchies. And I'm like, these people are making me hungry. Okay, so Lena is talking to her grandfather, and she tells Cam, he's an okay stepdad. I could deal with him. And then they break the news that he's going to be a grandfather again. And he's just looking at her like, didn't I just tell you to slow down?
yeah, yeah. But it's crazy because me and Justine, we had that same situation.
Exactly. I say, you can relate to
No,
that too.
I could relate to it because it's like I'm happy, she's happy, but we know other people aren't gonna be happy.
Exactly.
And it sucks because you
Exactly.
want to share,
And
the,
Eris's
the news with the
dad
world.
was not happy.
Not happy,
He was not
you
happy.
know.
He was just like, I just told you guys to slow down. And 5 minutes later, you're telling me you're having a baby.
Yo, I really, to be honest with you, I really like them though. Like when I watch these episodes, and it's rarely because I'm gonna be honest to you, not to sound like super important in this, but our days are so numbered with what we're doing. It's so hard to find the time to be like, all right, we're gonna watch it. Sometimes when we're on, we don't watch till a couple days later. We'll be on live while the show is on, and you can ask anybody. We nowhere near television. The show is
Yeah,
being aired right now, and me and Juju are somewhere else. It's
right.
because
Yeah,
we got so much things going on that by the time we can unwind, it's like it's me and her. So we're not. Last thing I'm gonna do is sit down and watch. No, what's up?
right.
So, but what I've seen from the show and from the other couples, I really like those two. I really like those two because, like, I don't know if it's because me and him we have a lot of similarities or what it is, but he does seem like a good dude. He's a goofball, and
Right.
and that's the thing. Like that just shows me a youthful vigor. So it's like, that's purity to me. When I see that, I see purity. So I kind of like I like that couple.
Yes. I like them a lot too. I love him. He cracks me up. So now his sisters are coming. And we remember in the beginning of the season, she didn't put a good taste in his sister's mouth because she
Exactly.
didn't go to his party. Okay. His welcome home party, remember? So
Yeah.
now he wants her to like kind of apologize and make amends with his sisters. But she's like, wait a minute. Didn't you tell your sisters I was sick? And he's like, I just told them you didn't want to come. And she's like, didn't you tell them I was sick? And he's like, well, I just told them you didn't want to come. So she's like, okay, I will fix things. But she's like, will I apologize? Hell no. But I will fix things. It's like,
Yeah. But it comes to a point, especially when that time has passed for that, for that significant amount of time, that where it's like, okay, once again, are we gonna act like children or adults? All right. I didn't want to come in the beginning because I didn't know you guys. I didn't feel comfortable. What's so wrong with me telling you the truth? I don't feel like that now. We're here.
right.
You know what I mean? It's like you can't be holding on to those little things, man. Life is so much bigger than that. Like to be holding on to those little things, man, and ruining like monumental moments that you guys can be collectively sharing together over stupid opinions and rules and impulsiveness. And like, no, let people live their lives how they want to live their lives, man. Support it if you
Exactly.
want to, and don't tune in if you don't want to. It's
Right,
simple.
exactly. Exactly. Okay. So before we move on to Brittany and Marcelino and their Blink If You Missed Them segment, I see a couple of requests in the comments. These women would like you to let your hair out, Mike.
Oh, I got like a treatment in my hair right now. I can't do none of that.
I see these
Gotta
women
deal with this
are
right now.
requesting for you to let your hair out
It will be out all week. I
all
can't I
week.
can't let that right
He
now.
can't let it out today, guys. Sorry.
Tune
Okay.
in, follow me.
Brittany and Marcelino. So Marcelino realized that maybe that conversation that he had with Giovanni last week, and Giovanni expressing to him
Yeah.
that he just wants his parents to be happy. He wants them to stop fighting. Hey, maybe we should renew our vows instead of like dealing with the problems. Hey, we should renew our vows.
I mean, you can ask a lot of people, even people in the comments right now. A lot of people has run they run to that because it's like for every woman or it's kind of like that's a magical moment. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like, how do I get out of the situation? You know what? Let me relive that magical moment. But I think, like I said, I mean, it takes a lot for a man to stay in the fight. And that's what people like women in general don't understand. Like they think that a man, oh, he's not this, he's not that, but he's still there. So I mean, he's a piece of shit while he's there, and he's gonna be a piece of shit if he left. So he can't win. You know what I
And
mean?
renewing the vows, not going to change him. If he's
It's
still, if he's a piece of shit, it's not going to change it. A,
yeah, that
a
wouldn't
big
change
party is
anything.
not going to change it. It's not going to change anything. But he did the whole thing. He cut out an old picture. He put it in a box. She asked her, if she wants to do it. She said yes, and I mean, I don't think it's going to fix anything. He does not
Well,
want to be. He does not want to be in Florida, Mike. You and I both know that he wants to be where you are, at a fucking poker table.
okay. Well,
Plain and simple.
like
Plain and
it's
simple. He wants to be where you are, okay, in Vegas at a poker table. He is a professional poker player, Okay, that's where his heart and soul is. And Brittany ripped him out of Vegas and brought him to Florida. He is miserable as fuck.
It's a different lifestyle, especially when you're like you're so used to living a certain way, and you know, at the end of the day, it's kind of like it's taking taking someone or something out of its natural habitat.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it becomes everything becomes an issue. Things become overwhelming because you're not comfortable in this environment. And you know what I
Right.
mean? Like I always tell people, and I'm gonna say this because I reiterate this a lot. You can't change anyone.
No, you
The
can't.
person has to want to change. The person has to be willing to want to make those changes and sacrifices and whatever it is that they got to do. So you changing the scenery, you changing your hair color, you changing his number, those things are not going to change a person. You know what I mean? So it's listen, relationships, I've come to understand, and this is why my relationship is the way it is. A relationship is a job. It's a job, okay? It's a job where you got to clock in 24/7. You're sharing your life with a person, right? So you got to take that person's feelings into consideration. You got to sacrifice. You know, sometimes you got to put yourself last, put them first, because it's reciprocated. In a healthy relationship, those gestures are reciprocated. A person can't always be the winning side because guess what? That's when you guys drift away. You've been winning for so long. It's been all about you for so long. You miss me.
Right.
And now I don't want to be here no more.
Right.
So now it's like, that's why a lot of people break up and stuff, is because they're not thinking like, okay, well, I've seen 3 movies back to back, what I like. But when was the last time I asked my wife what she wanted to see? I don't want to see Ryan Gosling crying in a different movie about falling in love. That's not my type of movies. But she loves it. So I'm going to go watch it in 3D. I'm going to go watch it in 3D. You know
and
what I'm
you're
saying?
going to get the popcorn and the big
Everything.
soda and
Extra
the candy.
butter.
Yep.
Extra
Everything.
butter.
Yep.
Her watermelon sour patches, you know what I'm saying?
And
And I'm going to sit there and I'm going to look so interested in this movie that on the way home, she's going to be telling me all about the movie. And I'm going to be like, God, if she just don't stop. But I'm going to support and I'm going to sacrifice. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, those to me is those moments that counts too. Like she did so much sacrificing for me when I was away that when I got a chance to sacrifice, I love doing it. Because it shows us that she's important. It's not only about me.
Right.
You know?
And that's all that matters is those little moments and the sacrifices and that's what bonds you guys together. And that's what makes you guys adorable. Unlike the next couple that I'm going to move on to because I just have to. And now I'm going to make an announcement with my niece's microphone. Okay, let's see. Hello there. Oh, good, it does work. I have an announcement to make. This is an announcement. Monique, this is a recap, not an interview. We are recapping the episode. We are not, I repeat, not talking about you. I like this.
Wow.
This is pretty cool. I'm sure your kids have tons of toys because somebody has some beef. They think we're talking about her during my recaps. So I just had to make an announcement that it's only a recap and we're not necessarily talking about her, but we're talking about everyone. So this was ridiculous. Monique and her whole family chased Derek around the Airbnb, practically body slammed him for his phone. First of all, they were questioning him about his intentions towards Monique and what was going on. If I was her family, I would be questioning her. What the fuck is she still doing with him? 10 women, 4 phones, the whole thing, you know, this whole season. But her whole family showed up, her sisters, her godmother, and they were like questioning him. So he's sitting there, and then his phone goes off, and they chase him around the whole place, snatch the phone out of his hand, She locks herself in the bathroom with Calandra and she starts checking his phone. That to me was ridiculous in itself. If you have to do that to your man, it's time for you to get a new man. Okay.
You see, and like I said, I'm always gonna put myself in the person's shoes. I'm not gonna talk bad about or opinionate or ridicule anyone because how I'm looking at it is, well, I wouldn't want that being done to me. I wouldn't want my wife having X amount of phones and me having to check her phone and all that stuff. Especially in a relationship, that's not cool. You know what I mean? And a relationship on national television too, because it's not just like it's going on behind the scenes. It's like the whole world gets to see this. So, as a person, just as a human being, you got to know your self-worth. You got to know that, you don't have to deal with that type of stuff if you don't want to. So if my sister's calling me, telling me about all the stuff her boyfriend is doing, which her boyfriend is amazing. I love that dude. But if she was to come tell me like, oh, he's doing this, he's doing that, my question isn't going to be, why is he doing it? My question is going to be, why are you still there? You see what I'm saying?
She just sat there and she told her family that he sleeps with his phone in his boxers. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I would be embarrassed to tell my family that my man sleeps with his phone in his boxers.
Listen, I don't have no passwords on my phone. My wife has access to all my social media accounts, my emails. Let me tell you something, fellas, for everyone watching. This is the most liberating feeling in the world when you don't have to hide anything, man. When you don't have to hide anything, your life becomes less stressful. Take my advice. Stop putting passwords on your phone. Share a relationship with your significant other so that you guys can see something. You can see something positive flourish.
Well, Derek has lots to hide on that phone because when Calandra and Monique were in the bathroom checking, he was like, damn, it's a damn near porno side of my phone. I got titties, I got ass, I got videos, I got all sorts of shit. So then Monique calls this number and it's this chick. She's a party promoter from Georgia. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. She's sending him pictures, but she's a party promoter from Georgia. Mm-hmm. So, long story short, Monique tosses Derek out. It's like, bye, Derek, bye. But Derek made sure to climb the cabinets to get the ring because, when he got there, he stuck the ring on top of the cabinets. He made sure to climb the cabinets to get the ring. And then he was gone. It's like, girl, if this is the way you look on screen to how many millions of people that are watching this show, and you're worried about my little recap, and we're just talking about all the couples, and this is the way you present yourself, you have your whole family chasing your man around. I mean, he had his phone like this, and she was like literally yelling, get his fingers off the phone, get his fingers. It's like, girl. And then you lock yourself in the bathroom. Girl, no. Mm-mm. That was the most ridiculous. That was one of the most ridiculous scenes I've ever seen. And I've watched this from season 1, episode 1. I'm a true bunkie. Okay. And I was like, girl, are you kidding me? Your whole family is chasing your man around for this phone.
I mean, to my opinion, once again, you can't involve too many people in your relationship.
Exactly. Your whole family.
That's my only thing. Like, when you, especially when you're going through something with your significant other, that's things y'all gotta hash out between each other because then other people's opinions are casted on that, right? And then guess what? Now my sister has an issue with her. Why? Because my sister knew that the other day she was talking crazy to me. Now I gotta kind of fix the relationship between my sister and my wife because I involved my sister in my problems.
Her sisters do not like him, right? Her sisters do not like him.
But let me say something. It's like if they didn't know anything about him, or if he wasn't putting himself out like that, then they wouldn't have anything to not like. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it all falls down to both. I mean, both of them. But as far as I'm concerned, man, like I'm gonna keep my family, and I know my family's probably watching right now, and they can, they can attest to this. I'm gonna listen. Last thing I'm doing is involving any of my family members in any of my problems, especially when it comes to my wife. If there's something that I can't control or is something that's really affecting me, that I need to hear something from somebody, then I'll reach out. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't put it out there like that. I just wouldn't, just because, like I said, it's our relationship. If I
Right.
gotta if I gotta reach out to other people for validation, then that means I'm not sure of making my own decisions. You know?
Yeah. Yes, I know. Yes, Monique getting her family involved. You're right. Seeking that validation just causes more drama, more
Yeah.
unnecessary drama.
And
Yes.
like I said, because I want to make this clear. Like all the cast members, me being a member on the show, we all under a lot of scrutiny. We all under a lot of scrutiny. You know what I mean? And we're constantly being judged and spoke. We're spoken about in words and things like people don't know. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
So
Yes.
I have more compassion. I'm more compassionate to the members on the show just because I know how it feels to not get 100% of your point across and
Right.
have to get the viewer look at 15 minutes of your life that took a month to film. So it's
Right.
like, you know what I mean? I'm never that person to be like, oh yeah, that person's crazy. They got to do this, they got to do that. Nah, like,
Mhm.
I'm very compassionate about their feelings because I know how it feels. And she looks like a cool person. Like you just gotta sometimes you just gotta let people be who they are. If a person shows you a certain color, don't try to change that color. It is what it is, you know. And if you want to be a player, if you want to do what you want to do, then do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like you don't got to put a person through that. And me, I can say that because I put people through that. So you don't got to do that to people. People don't deserve that.
Right. Some cast members have speculated that Derek may be going through like a sowing his wild oats stage, like just coming out of prison. He loves Monique. He has love for Monique, but he's not ready to get into a serious relationship. He's like in this sowing his wild oat stage. Do you kind of see him like that? You know, you yourself coming out of prison, you went into a serious relationship, but some men don't. Like some men just come out and
No,
they see
a
all
lot of
these
men don't.
women, and it's kind of, and it's just like a big playground for them. And some of the cast members kind of see Derek like that. He appreciates Monique for what she did for him, and he loves her. He loves
I
her.
think
He
he
has
does.
love for her.
I
But
think he
now that
does.
he's out, it's kind of like a playground. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know what though? Like for me, it's easy for me because how I look at it is none of these people were around. None of these people cared about me. None of these people knew I existed. Why am I giving anyone else attention?
Right.
The only person that deserves that and is undivided attention is Juju. You know what I'm saying? It's Juju. So once again, it's easier for me like to look around and not see anybody, no matter how bad she is, because my eyes aren't looking at anyone in that way. You know what I'm saying? So a very pretty woman could walk by me and I'm not gonna break my neck because I'm satisfied. I got a very pretty woman. I got a strong, resilient wife who had my fucking back. I'm not chancing that for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I just hit it big and I'm walking out the casino. I'm not sitting there on a slot machine trying to figure out if I can hit again. This is my jackpot. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? So sometimes as men too, a lot of us take longer to mature. A lot of us, you know what I mean? We got to go
Yes.
through something serious to realize like, damn, I really messed up. And some of us never recoup from that. We never recuperate from that because we shit the bed so bad. And that's why I try to influence people in like being more real and more true to yourself. And like I said, it's so easy to just be a player if you want to be a player because you don't got no one to say nothing to. If you tell every girl you deal with, yeah, we're not serious, and I got other chicks on the side and shit, can no one tell you nothing? But why involve a person if that's how you want to be? It doesn't make sense. You can't in the real world, it doesn't work like that. It would never work like that.
Yes.
Because a person's not no one on this earth would put up with that, you know. So sometimes you gotta weigh your options and you gotta look at things and say, damn, like for real, this person was there when I didn't have shit, when I was on no show, when I was asking her to put money on the phone, when I was asking her if she was if it was for sure that she was gonna send those pictures and come see me. Why do I care about any other attention a female got to give me?
Right.
Like, no, y'all can keep that shit. I'm straight with fake love. I'm cool. I don't need that.
Okay. We have one last couple, and well, not really couple, but Amber and Puppy. And this was intense because Amber has been going through it this season. And Amber is usually the backbone. You know,
Yeah.
she's like usually the strong friend. But last season, she had an abortion and she's been falling apart because her man is not emotionally available. He hasn't been there for her. And this episode is basically when the shit hit the ceiling. But first of all, Puppy tells Queen, you know, everything that's been going on. Like Puppy brings Queen up to speed. And
Yeah.
then Amber and TC sit down and they have a conversation. And TC, you know, he basically tells her that he wishes everything was peaceful and that he feels like it's hard for him to show affection to her because her drinking aggravates the fuck out of him. And she tells him that she just needs to feel loved and feels like that she's begging for affection. Then she goes outside, she has a conversation with her mom, and her mom says to her something that reminds me of what you said before. Her mom says you can't fix someone when you yourself are not fixed. And Amber needs a lot of fixing. Amber is damaged from this whole abortion experience. And Amber needs a lot of fixing, and she's too busy fixing everybody around her. Amber's the one.
You know what it is? I think she's strong, but at the end, you know, like I tell people all the time, you can be strong on the outside and everything, but even those strong people, they have moments where they need to be held. They need to be hugged. They need that reciprocated. That love is emanating from them. That strength, that resilience, that, you know, it's emanating from them. So it affects everyone around them. And they're able to help this person or console that person or, you know, help another person get through something. But then when it comes to them, it's hard for them to channel that for themselves. You know what I mean? And they break down, they fall apart. And like I said, I think, you know, she's strong. And like she says, she does certain things because of what she feels like she's missing. She's replacing whatever it is that she's doing with like a temporary happiness, you know, but we all know how that goes.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
It's temporary.
I mean, she basically admitted that was drinking more and more because of her sadness and because she didn't feel emotionally supported. And she was screaming out for a hug, basically. I mean, all she wanted was a hug. So she comes home and the house is a fucking mess. She cleaned it from top to bottom, and TC and her and his sons just, I mean, there was a grilled cheese sandwich on the floor. I mean, fucking shit everywhere, and that's it. She fucking lost it, and she's not fucking doing this anymore. And she calls Puppy, which, by the way, how the fuck could Puppy be homeless and own $250,000 in shoes? That's what I really want to know. And I'm going to ask her that when I get her on here, because you know I'm going to get Puppy on this channel. I've had everybody on here, but I'm going to get Puppy on here, and I'm going to ask her, how the fuck could she own $250,000 in shoes? That is the fucking golden question. So this is
bad investment decisions, I guess. I don't know.
Yes, like, girl.
Listen, let me tell you something. I've seen
Juju,
people line up for Jordans.
Do you own $250K in shoes? Does she own $250K in shoes?
Who, Juju?
Yeah.
No, Negatron. None of us. But what I'm saying is, I've seen people line up outside for the new Jordans, and when you go to the house, they have nothing in the fridge. So people do make those type of decisions. You know what I mean? I don't know how much money you would spend on just shoes and be in that situation, but you know, that's crazy.
Okay, so she shows up she shows up to Amber's house, and Amber's already packing, and she's like, what the fuck is going on? And she's like, call Queen, call this one, and before you know it, she has a moving crew. Do you have people you could call just like that, Mike? that'll show
Of
up with
course.
boxes and a truck and just like that in 5 minutes?
Well, I mean, not like that, but what I'm saying is,
Yo,
I got
Amber
people.
called and they showed up in 5 minutes. It was like, what the fuck? How do you get a truck and boxes?
But you
and
know
everything?
why? Like I told you, everyone feels like when you're that person, everyone feels in debt to you. So
There
it's
you go.
like the minute they could do something for you, they're not gonna hesitate. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna say this: when Juju was moving for me to get parole to the house where we were at,
Right?
my celly left 4 hours away to come help him and his brothers help my wife move all her shit. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that. Why? Because he felt like he was in debt to me. Like he just felt like, you did so much for me, bro. How could I tell you no? No matter what I'm doing, I'm dropping everything. So I feel like being that she plays that role with everyone she surrounds herself around, I can see why they'll move so quick for her. Because they're like, yo, it's like, damn, she's in need. It's like seeing Batman in the middle of the road all beat up. Batman didn't save everybody. We gotta help him.
Amber
gotta
is
help him
Batman
right
in the
now.
middle of the road all beat up. There we
You know what I'm
go.
saying?
I love that
we gotta
analogy.
pick him up. We gotta help him because he's so used to saving everybody else. So everyone's gonna rush to his aid, So that's what I think the situation with her is like. She done did so much for everybody that they don't miss a moment to just jump up and do something for her.
But her post-its, she put me, not fucking me on things like the washer and dryer, me, refrigerator, me.
Yo,
I done
I've
the picture
seen that
frame.
before.
I done the picture frame of TC, not fucking me. That shit was hysterical.
Yo,
I gotta do that
before.
next time I move. Me, not fucking me, not fucking mine.
Everything I love, y'all put this on every child I have, and I have a lot of them.
Yes, you do. You have a whole.
I was helping my boy move, right? And I seen she had put posters on her stuff. It said, don't touch this, don't touch that, don't touch this. And I was like, yo, what the hell's going on? He's like, yeah, everything they got a posted is hers. So I seen that before.
That's hysterical. Well, Amber did the me, not fucking me, me.
Oh man.
Yep. So.
Well, it's the season finale, so.
Yep.
I mean, I guess you guys are in for a surprise.
Yep.
Man.
TC walks in. Puppy's like, oh shit, he don't even like me. Amber's like, my anxiety's through the roof. And Queen's like, what's up, TC? And we'll see next week. And next week is the season finale. Everybody's going to be on, every couple. And it's going to be lit. It's going to be lit. And we're going to have a bunch of surprises because the season finale is always lit. And yeah.
I can't wait. You know what I'm excited for? I'm excited to see the whole process now because I was locked up when Love During Lockup was being filmed.
Yes.
I didn't get to see those cast members until I came home and stuff like that. So it was like now I'm able to now the camera's not on me no more. So I get to be the person looking like, oh shit, they got this going on.
So you get to do a recap with me for Love During Lockup.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
that'll be cool. We get to do a recap of Love During Lockup. So you'll you know
and, yeah, I get to see what everyone else got going on.
Yeah.
And like they say, we train wrecks, man. They say I can't wait to see these gang of train wrecks they got.
Who the next set of train wrecks are gonna be.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
so we just have to make it through Mama June. We'll take a little break, make it through Mama June, and then we'll see who the next set of train wrecks are.
Oh man, it's gonna be monumental, man. We TV, Sharp Entertainment, shout out, man. You guys know what you're doing.
Yep, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, Mike. I know you have lots of stuff going on.
It's always a pleasure.
You taking your time. And
like I said, I apologize for being in the car.
Nah, don't worry.
But since I've landed, all we did was look at homes and you know what I mean. So I haven't had a second to kind of like even set up. We just got to. That's why she's not in the car because she's in the room. You know what I mean. So now I'm finally going into the room for the first time.
Go relax, do your thing. Thank you so much.
I'll talk to
you soon. Thank you guys for watching me. Everyone have a good night. I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Later.